UCT.TV.
Well, welcome back to the final of the All Africa Champs 2019. I'm Dylan Sims and I'm with Travis Marburg.
How's it? Hope you guys are having a good day.
And today we have a rematch of sorts of the All Africa Champs 2 years ago with Ghost versus UCT. A very interesting matchup coming up with probably about 6 Ghost players winning this tournament with UCT 2 years ago.
Yes, and Dylan, tell us a bit more about UCT. I mean, you play for them, you played for them, you're supposed to play this tournament, but you're injured. Tell us about them. Let's get some stats.
So UCT has played 7 matches so far. 8 matches so far this tournament. We've lost 1 to Ghost. The score there was 13-8. Them running away at the end of the game with it. UCT being quite a developmental program, as it's a university, so it's generally about a 4-year program. By year 3, people make it to the first team, which is the one that's playing at the moment. Although going into this team, about 6 or 7 first team UCT players are actually playing in the South African Wild Dogs team. So this is a little bit more of a mismatch UCT team, but I've been playing very well through the weekend, really using their speed as an advantage.
Yeah, I think from my side, having played against UCT numerous times, it's the intensity that they bring with their athleticism and their hard man-D, making it very sort of difficult to get open, and when you're open, you're only just open. This is quite tough. It frustrates a lot of teams, and sometimes they take their shots, but they generally always, if they don't come off, they normally get that disc back. And their spirit's really good. They're always a very vibey team. They might sing their song. Quite enjoyable team to play against always. Very, 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 very good team. I look forward to some good things.
So, with it being both teams having quite a lot of UCT players, or ex-UCT players, both teams really work on that momentum that they flow through. So you'll see in this game, especially in the early parts, that team that gets that early momentum is the team that's going to potentially take the game. The beginning of this game is probably the most important part.
I'd say so. And I think Ghost, on the Ghost side, Ghost actually are actually fighting a war on 2 fronts here. They've got a team at All Africa and another team at Windmill. So I don't know how they finished at Windmill or what their sort of play was like, but they're doing pretty well here. Fighting a war on 2 fronts is really difficult, but there are no Russians here, so they should be able to put up a good fight.
This is UCT's ritual before a game, really just getting themselves excited for the game. That cheer made up by Nixa Loomis, the man who started the club back in the day.
Oh, about 100 years ago. He's still alive to this day.
Back to Ghost though, some hugely potent players being Peter Jessup,
all ex-UCT.
James Ivy,
UCT,
Avalon.
UCT.
Hey, Avalon's not quite UCT. I mean, she was an exchange.
Yeah, she didn't play for UCT though. She always played for Ghost.
No, she did. She played UCT for October 2016, the first year that we actually won a national championship. But has since then moved to Ghost.
And she also played at the World Club Championships. She played for UCT.
Yeah, many people on this Ghost team actually played with that, since they won nationals together in 2017, which allowed them to qualify for club champs in Cincinnati.
Yes, I mean, and on the women's side, Tuli Mayaba, Tina Jessup now. She's married to good old Pete. And we've got Bergen, Hussein. We've got quite a few strong ladies, all from UCT, coming from UCT, just showing what a program that is. Well, probably the most successful program in South Africa in terms of longevity and getting those second team players skillful enough to make the first team in the following years in a short time frame. I mean, most of these players play for 3 years and are top quality athletes by the end of it.
So Ghost coming out with a really potent, what seems to be O-line, with Connor Isley holding the disc. Peter Jessup definitely going to be a huge deep threat, as always, with Tuli right behind him. Tuli almost bringing down every single throw this tournament. Connor with the first pull of the tournament, just unfortunately putting it out.
Brick called.
Not quite the rule, yes. Jarvi throwing it out to make
knows
sure.
his rules. That's why he makes the final.
So Ghost starting with Peter Jessup and Tina Jessup in the middle. Let's see what chemistry they can build. Rourke marking Peter Jessup, a very interesting matchup with Rourke being an ex-South African orienteering athlete. UCT putting on a backhand force, perhaps to counter James Ivey's huge flick.
I think when we played the Ghost, we also tried
This goes up with a hammer.
Nice. Good pressure, good pressure. That's that intensity that UCT brings. But yeah, when we played against Ghost, we also tried force more backhand because a lot of these players have very potent flicks, and you want to keep them more on the backhand side. It's a good tactic that UCT have started with.
Peter Jessup with a great mark on Rourke, but just Jonty collecting that disc.
Oh, Jonty loves
my
that ground.
My word, Rourke with another great grab. UCT just showing athleticism right now. Christine going up the line, getting the disc. UCT right there. Disc goes up to Connor. Connor reels it in. UCT very excited about that one. Goes with a little bit of an unforced error, deciding to go for the hammer instead of the more conventional backhand in that situation.
Yes, exactly. I think it was the pressure that told. I mean, some of them are a bit more uncomfortable on the backhand side, and with that they start making those sort of inopportune throws, and played right into UCT's hands there, and they got a bit flustered on D, and you can see that intensity that UCT are bringing, and if they continue to bring that, they'll be a very potent force in this game.
However, Ghost is never a team that's out this game.
Never.
They have pushed through a lot, being a team that also went to club champs in 2013? 2014, the one in Italy.
Yes.
Definitely pushing hard, with Peter Jessup being part of that team and Thule being part of that team as imports. Mark Lewis, I believe, potentially also part of that team. I think he was playing Ghost back then.
To sum this up, this is a pretty incestuous rivalry. Everyone's played for everyone. So yeah.
It's a very interesting matchup because neither team wants to lose to each other. This match during any normal league match, normal nationals match, is one of the most hotly contested matches that South African Ultimate brings.
Yes, and for the viewers that don't know, both these teams come from the same city, Cape Town. So they play each other year in, year out, 3 or 4 times a year at least. Always at nationals somehow, in the sort of top bracket. So they know each other very well. They know all the players very well. Oh, just a bit overthrown there. Nice bid by Alf there.
No, I believe that's Liz.
Close enough.
They wear the same color cleats, which could be seen as confusing. But UCT, good work on getting that D there, especially on a Zono. Merrick coming back, instead chops his feet, goes up line. Many poachers right now. Alistair gets the disc in the middle of the field. Joe not quite running hard enough to get the disc. Alistair resets back to Pavi. Pavi being one of the main offensive handlers, I would say, in the country.
Looks like the whole team's flexing their muscles there. I think who's got the biggest biceps?
Look, if we need to compare things, we should compare calf muscles because Peter Ivey has many of those.
Yeah, I think he has 3 calf muscles. He's a cyclist. He cycles.
Well, he used to cycle a lot more. Unfortunately, he's dropped that a little bit. That's a great mark put on by Duma. Eventually, disc has to go up. No one able to bring that down. UCT being put under a lot of pressure. James picks that disc up straight away. Disc goes up.
That forehand. That's that forehand we've been talking about. Bit floaty.
Pavi's underneath it.
Yeah.
Not a great read by... Sorry, not a great throw by James. Pavi retaliates straight away with the huck going up. Merrick underneath it. Merrick, a huge player.
Oh, that was
just
close.
Doesn't bring it down over Avalon. Avalon doing a great job at boxing him out. Just reading that disc all the way down.
Just shows the experience of Avalon. Just to stay calm in that, get the position, and make Merrick sort of have to make a very difficult bid on that.
Avalon's got the disc. Seems to have called something. Not quite the hand signals we're looking for though in this game. Donna being one of the newest players on the UCT team, only playing for the last 6 months. Her nationals being the first tournament that she has ever played.
Yes, and as you said, I mean, lots of players playing for the under-24 Wild Dogs, so it's a chance for some of these players to step up, some of these new UCT players.
Pete's got the disc, he puts it Not quite what he would have been expecting, especially being a Joburg player. He knows this altitude. He knows how to throw here. Mez struggling to get the disc.
Very nice. Good intensity on the mark there.
Mez just a man that can bring down any pass. Eliza with the disc, throws to Pavi.
Gets that rhythm.
UCT.
Brother on brother. This is Pete Ivy versus James Ivy.
UCT not quite taking advantage of those poachers. Joe puts it into space to Alistair, who climbs the ladder but misses it.
Gets it on the second bird.
UCT with the second break of the game. Not quite as clinical as they would have wanted, but really bringing down everything.
I'm fascinated about this matchup between James and Peter Ivy. They're brothers. They used to play in UCT together. I hated playing against them because they always were so in sync. But playing against each other, we'll see who gets the better of them. Ivy seemed to do a very good job there on offense.
As you say, it's just always such an intense matchup. The Ivies do not like losing to each other. And they just show it on the field.
Since they were 8 years old in the backyard, they couldn't let each other win.
Ghost, a team that has ridiculously strong women, and because of this, they are playing 4 women this point, just to show UCT that they can do it. This was a tactic that they've been using through the whole tournament, especially since they have equal men and women.
Yeah, I think they're leading the charge with the 4 women lines, and a mixed ultimate. It's become convention, at least in the smaller countries, to stick with only having 3 women, and we know mixed is a sort of equitable sport, so the more 4 women lines we play, the sort of better it becomes for equitable gender sort of ratios.
Yeah, no, definitely, but UCT is still putting out a very strong woman line to match the Ghost woman line. So just to go over the Ghost woman line quickly, it's Amy Maloney, Katie Hudson, believe it's Katie Hudson.
Yeah,
I think it's just a surname that I'm not quite knowing. Elf.
That's not a real name. She isn't actually an elf. She's a human.
It's Eleanor.
Yeah, Eleanor. She hails from Zimbabwe, but she's been playing South Africa. She also went to UCT. It seems like everyone there went to UCT.
And then finally Thuli
Mayaba, also a UCT player. We just can't stop with that. At least Amy didn't go.
Sunder with the disc, a man that will throw the disc however he wants. I have seen him in a national tournament throw the disc behind his head
for a score. I've been playing against him. I've been marking him once he's thrown a score behind the back. Not at all embarrassing.
Nice throw by Katie, just getting it straight over. As we said, Asunder will throw what he wants, and there he does exactly that. Rourke almost gets it. Great pressure by UCT, just forcing them to throw what they want them to throw.
It's that intensity. That cup was really aggressive, really making it difficult to get the throw off. Rourke was there, right there. Then Sunder had to make a pinpoint throw, couldn't quite get it, and the turnover happened.
And Tristan is a very big man to have as your... Christine goes up the line. Elf there with her. Christine climbs the ladder, but again, unfortunately drops it this time.
That's a very good connection. Rourke and Christine have been playing together since they were at high school, playing in Chile originally before they moved to UCT. So they know each other very, very well.
Again, Tristan just being a huge man, leading that cup. Look at his arms go. No throws are easy against him.
That is very scary.
A man that I have seen get 4 to 5 hand blocks in a game before. He just eats everything up. Thuli going up the line to Elf. Elf just taking her time.
Thuli's calmness is just amazing. Thuli's been playing at a high level for a long time. She's moved out of an ultimate playing city. I think she's still in KZN now. And she hasn't played much sort of ultimate on a weekly basis, but whenever she comes, she performs.
KK gets the disc. KK gets it to Katie. As we said, Tristan is a huge man, and he will get things that you put up. Tristan playing second team this year for UCT, but being someone that has just stepped up and taken his seat in the first team.
And also wearing yellow tights, which is important.
Connor with a great little cut to the break side. Christine with the easy throw for the score. UCT on a roll.
And the defense made that point. I mean, the intensity on the defense sort of demoralized Ghost a bit. Having 2 opportunities to score, but not managing to sort of pull it off, or just being stuck in the back of the end zone. And UCT eventually just could get an easy break throw for a score.
I'm going to take this moment to mention how cold it is here right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing flip-flops, and that was probably a poor decision. However, I hail from Durban, this is our national culture, so I'm not going to stop. But we can definitely complain about it.
For anyone living in Australia, those are called thongs, I believe.
Yeah.
I think they're called flip-flops in most other places.
Yeah, in South Africa we call them slops. My Australian friends do not like that. They think it's a stupid name. But then again, I mean...
So are thongs.
Yeah. I generally don't wear thongs, the South African version. I try to stick to normal tidy-whities. But... yes, okay, let's get back to the Frisbee before we talk about my negligee, my lingerie.
Pavi with the disc. Not often the pull-up, but he goes and he puts it big with some OI on it. Bubbles in the wind. Mark Lewis with a nice connection. Rowan running it down, just deciding not to go for it. Avalon at the back of the stack.
Got Javi and Pavi, offensive versus defensive matchup now. See how this works out.
Avalon with the disc being marked by Amanda. She puts it through to Mo. It's dropped. Pete wanted it really badly, just a bit too far for him.
And that's saying a lot. Nothing's really too far for him. He scarred me lacquer yesterday. Pretty embarrassing.
Unfortunately, probably not on camera, so we can't go rewatch that one.
It was definitely on camera. That's the problem.
Eliza with a great little shimmy there, getting the disc. Mez cutting behind. Right now, everyone's dancing, not quite knowing what to do. Puts it into space. Liz with a good read on that disc.
Again, pressure and a bit of miscommunication. I mean, Liza has still at school, been playing for Chile. She's picked up with UCT for this tournament. Very good player, but maybe not knowing her UCT friends as much as she sort of other players can.
Peter Avi with a nice little mark there. Unfortunate that Liz got completely open, but was looked off. Javi now on the other sideline with his flick open for him. What will he take it?
Pete with that excessive speed, but very good sort of marking there by Pavi. This brother battles has been pretty impressive so far.
Two people coming back. Liz going up the line. Liz just really taking her time. Eventually throws it. Merrick's there.
And Avalon stays strong. That's a brilliant grab by Avalon, especially in the traffic.
Avalon being one of those players that she does not care who is around her. She will get that disc. She is not scared of anyone running towards her, especially Mez being such a big man.
I'm pretty sure Mez could have made South African rugby team if he tried.
Pretty sure Mez could make most South African teams if he tried.
Yes, exactly. Glad he's playing Frisbee.
Now, Ghost on their first point of defense. Going to be interesting to see if they decide to come out of the zone. They play quite a little cup zone, forcing you to go through the middle, but really putting pressure on those throws.
I think the zone might be a good way to cope with the sort of UCT intensity. And I think they played a zone point earlier on the turn there. Got them a bit flustered. So maybe that's a very good tactic.
In this last point, they did a great job at shutting down UCT's hander resets, and that's really where the difference was made. UCT couldn't get upfield because they had a big man like Peter Jessup there waiting for the disc. They couldn't go back because they just made everything a hassle, and that's how they got that turn. It may be a good idea to go for something like that again. Peter Jessup just needs to choose his mark correctly, and the difference will be made.
Yes, and he'll get there. But normally, I think traditionally, Peter Jessup plays, if they start playing a zone, he'll play at the back. Obviously, to mop up any huck that goes up, he'll mop it up. So let's see what works out.
Pete puts a huge put. Goes straight into Rourke's hands.
Zone play.
Indeed, we were right. They throw zone. Christine goes through the middle to Rourke. Rourke being one of the best zone O players in the country.
With his orienteering, he always knows where to go.
Connor squeezes it through. Christine with now an amazing grab. Pete respecting Jonty going deep. Connor gets the disc now. Looks at it for Rourke again through the middle.
Rourke is just peppering that. He knows where the spaces are and he's getting there. That's very good play by him.
My heart is beating through my chest at the moment, being a UCT player at this tournament, but again, unfortunately, getting injured.
And going to their rival university, Stellenbosch University, I'm contractually obliged to vote against UCT at all times.
Back in your day at Stellenbosch, you really led Stellenbosch to come about 6th at Nationals, I believe.
Fifth, I would like to say, at the infamous Bloemfontein Nationals, aka the Chicken Nationals. But yes, that was a very, very solid core team. Might not have been the most skillful, but sort of echoed UCT with that intensity that they have, and it really helped us sort of get our best ever finish.
Ooh, a little bit of dangerous plays there. Pete seems to be apologetic. Sarah seems to potentially want to call something, but we can't see that from here, as there is someone in the way, and no hand signals have been used. You can see the tiredness, though, in players, that you can see that they've played 8 games already. With whenever you get a chance, you want to sit.
And I think both these teams coming from Cape Town, that sea level, this is a few thousand meters above sea level, that altitude starts to hit you after a while. Like, you're breathing heavily, it's dusty as well, there's a bit of dust in your lungs. It's quite tough. I always compare it to, like, I don't know, breathing in a ferret, and the ferret's trying to escape and scratching the walls of my lungs. That always affects me, but now that I've moved up here, it gets a bit better.
Look, I've never considered breathing in a ferret before. But I mean, whatever floats your boat. There, just going back to that play, it was quite unfortunate. UCT just taking their time the whole way through, eventually jamming it in the jam hole, which then led to what now looks like a turnover.
I see a retraction there by Pete. Either that or he's showing his dance moves. But he has the disc.
KK now busting deep straight away. Jonty on him, though. Completely sells Jonty deep.
Ooh, nearly some collision on their own team, but very good avoidance.
2 people going for the same disc, which is probably a good thing.
And
disc goes up. Christine covering, but Javi could not reel that one in.
You could see those hammies working at about, 80% there. Again, as you said, a very difficult tournament, very tiring tournament. So
I remember the days my hammies could work at 80%.
Now we're at 40?
I mean, I couldn't even get them there this morning, to be honest.
Yes.
Chamonix just taking her time, going straight to Rourke through Connor. Connor now coming back, just wants the reset. UCT just going to take their time again. They've done it once, they've jammed it in the jam hole, but they probably don't want to do it again. Pete just really respecting the deep option. He knows that they can put it. Unfortunately, we have a dog coming onto the field at the moment, but you probably can't see that on camera. Hopefully there's no turnover. Seems to be fairly quick. This now goes to Chamonix. Chamonix goes back to Rourke. Rourke just taken out there.
Plays through the contact. He calls a foul.
Well done on Rourke and just bringing that in no matter what. Unfortunately, our sideline is very close right now, so you may have not seen that as well.
Although our cameraman's pretty good. He knows what he's doing.
Not once have I heard our cameraman complain about the cold, unlike us in the booth.
And he's from Australia, so maybe, I don't know, maybe if he goes up in the mountains in winter, he'll be cold. But most of the time, it's quite nice and sunny there.
Connor puts it up with a nice grab and read by Anna. Anna now with the disc, puts it to Chamonix.
Starting to find some holes in the zone. They're making it work. They're a bit patient. It's starting to pay off. Let's see if they can bring it in.
Rourke now with the disc. As I said, Rourke just knows what he's doing. Goes for the backhand through. Sarah goes for it, gets it.
Oh.
Sarah taking her time. Goes to Chamonix. This is where UCT lost it last time. Goes back to Connor. Connor faking. He doesn't quite see Christina on the other side of the field. Goes to Rourke. Tina bidding for that disc, not getting it. Rourke now getting the disc. UCT just always taking their time, being a team that's notoriously good at zone, and they score. Rourke with an amazing inside break throw.
That patience was good. They worked it up. They didn't panic. They didn't try and jam it up the jam hole like they did in the last attempt. So that was very good play. That's what you need, and especially with younger teams like university teams, that patience and that calmness on disc is pretty much makes or break the team, because they always have the athleticism, but the sort of mental toughness, which you only sort of develop in your mature days, is an advantage that this team actually has.
Seems as if a timeout has been called, I assume from Ghost, since they want to get back in this game, being 4-1 down.
Yes, I mean, that zone I think was effective. I think it was a good move, and I think they should keep at it. I mean, zones generally, wear a team down with all that sort of thinking that you have to do, trying to get it in certain gaps. So try it again. If they weren't decimated there, UCT had to work hard. So if they continue to work like that, I believe they can get some turns. I just want to turn back, and we see the huddles there, but you can't really see it that well. But Alistair's tights are just amazing. I mean, beautiful canary yellow.
Oh, that's Tristan.
Well, names are never my thing. Why am I commentating?
I believe Tristan enjoys being called Big Dog, as mentioned in a previous game. And every time he scores, everyone shouts to him that Big Dog's gotta eat.
That's pretty impressive. With those sort of yellow tights, I'd call him like a golden retriever, maybe.
I mean, golden retrievers are a bigger form of dog, so not the biggest.
Would you call him like a Saint Bernard or? What? Maybe just a Great Dane.
I don't actually know my dogs that well. But I mean, you go ahead. You name him something, just not a Chihuahua.
I'm somewhat a canine expert, self-proclaimed, of course. I've had dogs all my life. They're very nice animals. I'm part dog myself. I think I mentioned that in a previous.
What, you didn't make the Wild Dogs team?
Obviously, I didn't say I was a very good dog. It's a bad dog, sorry.
Once again, the Wild Dogs attending this tournament, really pushing themselves hard, using this tournament as an opportunity to learn together. They didn't quite do how they wanted, but they definitely learned what needed to be improved in the 27 days we have until the tournament.
I think it's important for a team like them because usually the better players used to sort of getting their own way, and playing as a team against very good clubs gives them that sort of experience when to attend a world event.
Now once again, Peter Avi with the disc in his hands, probably going to pull this disc straight to his brother James Avi.
Staring him down, he wants to win.
There is always the largest of rivalries between those two, as we've mentioned already. Now this line, potentially one of the first lines that doesn't have Peter Jessup on it. Katie holding that pull, doesn't quite field it, but picks it up quickly. Gets it to Asunda. Asunda moves it to Elf.
I think with the sun being on this side, on the sort of camera side, those pulls that go into the sun are very difficult to field. So might have been a bit of a smart move by Katie just to let that hit the ground.
James considered that deep option, but hosted it. Not something he does as often nowadays. He loves that flick put. Goes doing a great job at making it move. It goes over to James. James moves it in stride.
We see Asunda there threading that, getting that movement going. This is Asunda's type of game. Asunda hailing from Kayoba, a team from Cape Town as well, won nationals in the earlier days, about 10 years ago, I think 2009.
And now just putting it out of reach. Merrick going deep, no one quite marking him. An amazing put by Peter Ivy, just leading him in the end zone and scores. Merrick with the classic headbutt score.
What a beautiful celebration.
What a beautiful man, really.
Yes, exactly.
Peter Ivy with one of the best puts of this game so far, giving James absolutely no chance. All of that from a little mistake Asunda made.
Yes, unfortunately, when you get that high flow, sort of high tempo offense, you tend to rush it a bit sometimes and make that one throw that's just not on. And yes, just reining it in a bit once the flow sort of stops, just calm it down, get your resets working, and then try to generate that flow again. But again, we can't take away from that put by Pivy. He saw it, Merrick saw it, they knew it was going to happen, and they executed to perfection.
Pivy just leading this team so well from the front, really making sure that they know what they're doing, that they know what they want, and he just does it.
I agree. I've played against him for his whole university career, and he's always been a good player, but I think this year he's really stepped into just another level, like sort of world-beating level. It's very difficult to mark him. He's quick off the mark. As I said, when you're trailing him and you're just looking at his calves, you get distracted a bit. And
that's when he's most devastating.
Yes, of course, definitely. Up the line in the power position, he's got all the throws. So yes, very, very, very good player and very important in this game.
As you can see on the other sideline next to Peter Ivy is Jared North, the coach of this team and also the captain of Ghost. Unfortunately, hurting his hamstring on the last game of yesterday. very disappointed with that one. As Connor gets huge and doesn't get it. KK does not mind at all. Connor letting his hair flow now that his hat is off. Once again, Avalon gets that throw. Peter Jessup is deep, not quite getting it.
It's not many times Peter Jessup gets marked by someone inch for inch, but Rourke's doing a very good job. I think Peter Jessup maybe has an inch or two on him, but like he's got his work cut out for him, because Rourke also a very good player in the air. If the disc goes up, I'd like to see that bat on who can come down with it.
Rourke has definitely picked up his deep game this year, being able to bring down anything that people put up, being such a tall man, and as we ask for it, it comes. Goes over both though.
But you could see there Peter Jessup a bit nervous about getting into position, not as comfortable as he would be against the likes of a 5'10" Travis. That's me. But yeah, you could see he just misjudged it slightly. Also a bit of a blade, but good defense there by Rourke.
Rourke walking it up to the line for a point that they're playing man. Rourke looking to activate. Just takes that easy option to Connor. Connor being marked by KK. Rourke making it a cut up field, not getting it. Goes to Christine instead.
Oh,
Goes
perfect.
back. No one quite going deep, and there it is. A little bit too much edge on that throw. Not quite the control that he would have wanted. He's disappointed in that one.
And again, that's what UCT brings. They'll take those shots. Sometimes they aren't executed to perfection, but they'll take those.
Unfortunately, Amy with the drop there. She was sick on day 2 of this tournament, and that may have a little bit of a role in how she's playing right now. I mean, if you're staying at home for one of the days of the tournament, it probably means you're still sick during it.
Yes, it's difficult to recover. I mean, these tournaments take a lot out of the body of a healthy person, so trying to recover is very difficult.
It's a nice cut and give and go by Chris. Back to Chamonix. Chris probably wants it again.
Ooh, just a miscommunication again.
UCT with the second unforced error of this of this point. Peter Jessup now at the disc. He's a man that's probably going to look deep. And as I said, he does it. Bergen running it down, but unfortunately she knows she's not going to get there. Pete eating a lot of porridge for breakfast this morning.
Way too much. In South Africa, we have a porridge called Pro Nutro. Lots of energy, very important to eat, but if you eat too much, you just throw throws like that.
I believe Wheat Pix might be a contender for Pinutro.
Of course. Well, but what about a hybrid? Pro Nutro, Wheat Pix, some milk. Get a nice proper porridge, but then those discs are going to go out the end zone.
I mean, real proper question before we go back to this game is: are you a hot milk or a cold milk kind of guy?
Ooh, that's a difficult thing. Depends on how tired I am in the morning if I'm willing to put it in the microwave.
There was a silly mistake by UCT again, just throwing it away right in the end zone line, giving them a chance, putting on the wrong force, and Avalon just walking it there for another drop. This point probably having more turnovers than the whole game combined.
Just a bit interesting about these drops. I mean, they seem uncontested. Are the throws maybe a bit too zippy, or are the people just not concentrating in the heat of today?
Seems like Connor's definitely walking to that line and calling the timeout. He does not care about putting his foot down first.
Did Connor take off his hat, or did it fall on the field? I think he just wants to get his hat back.
I think he just wants to show his hair a little bit.
That's true. I mean, this is sponsored by Pantene or L'Oreal or whatever.
Oh, I thought we were sponsored by Wheat Pix.
We got a lot of sponsors. They're sponsored about 10 Rand each, which in US currency is about like 80 cents.
I mean, I think the proper sponsors of this would be some Wiftif sponsors, as in
Yeah.
Up Cleats. I know that you have a pair of those.
Yes, I have 2 pairs actually. I went at World Club Champions last year. I bought a pair a few months beforehand. And I loved them so much that I decided to buy a second pair for when this pair breaks. I quite enjoy them. I like them. They're very good to cut with. I've got a white pair and a black pair so that I can change my swagger.
I mean, it depends on what kind of kit you're wearing. If you're wearing a white top, you gotta wear the white cleats.
Slightly natural. Like I'm more of a sort of flashy player than I would say a good player. So
You got to make up for it somehow.
Yeah, and exactly. Somehow, I mean, I have to look cool when I do cool things. But I'm still going for the one black, the one white, which I feel will be sort of take my game to the next level in terms of flash.
I mean, it only works if both cleats have different stud pattern.
Different stud pattern. Well, it depends on which side I'm going to cut. But a black UP cleat and a white UP cleat, same stud pattern, I think will be good. But a different stud pattern might be you've got some good tips there, eh?
Look, man, I've been playing Ultimate for a few years at least. 8 or 9, started when I was 14.
Bit ridiculous there. Like, I mean, it's good in South Africa. In South Africa, most people start playing at university level. That's where it's sort of the biggest, as we've explained with UCT and their brilliant program. But there are those few people that somehow pick it up at school and take it to a next level. You played, you've been to Worlds twice now. You were played in 2012. You picked up with a team, the People's Republic of China.
Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei, sorry.
Which is Taiwan. I've also then played in the South African Under-24 team and the South African Open team.
Oh, three Worlds.
Only missed out on this year's Wild Dogs by 23 days. Made me very sad and look up the rule about 13 times.
Yes, I missed out by about 6 years. Nearly made it. I looked up the rule.
Just once.
Just
then
once.
You knew.
Then I knew. Then I was like, okay, 24 plus 6 is 30. My maths never been a strong point.
Man, you're almost at the age where Donkey should just be a full-time team.
That's true. One day I'll play Masters.
Now Connor with the disc, calling that timeout, taking the opportunity to get their breath back. You can see a poach on this far side of the field on Jonty. Jonty, a kind of player that can abuse that though. So really needs to be careful of that.
Another thing to note is Connor now has his hat back, so I feel the timeout was well called.
Now Rourke going up the line, getting that disc. Pete deciding not to bid for it. Anna has completely gone deep with no avail. Connor dancing. Connor gets it up the line. Brilliant cut, goes to the middle to Chamonix. Great to get it off the line. Back to the line, they send it though. Now to Rourke. Rourke to Christine. Very, very exciting match this one is. Rourke going up the line, Christine looking them off. Connor just taking the simple option going back. Connor back to Chris. They're almost at the point of playing a vert.
Was handler weave reset sort of ultimate is working very well for UCT.
An end zone has been called, which means they're going to go vert. No one quite cutting though. Chamonix goes to the break side.
Bit under third. Oh.
Sorry. Chamonix going to the open side, but unfortunately just dropping it there. Climbing the ladder, but not able to complete the task.
I think it was just slightly underthrown there and gave Avalon just a chance at that to put some pressure on. Chamonix did very well to get there. Unfortunately, just couldn't bring it down.
This being a point that Ghost and UCT will really want. Ghost needs to keep their holds.
Pete's looking.
Amy cut of land, looked off, but that just opened the door to hit the middle of the field, but the force has been changed. I don't think they quite know yet.
Peter Jessup sold Rourke down the river there. As I said, orienteering champion, but did not know where he was there.
Oh, a bit too high, but Bergen getting hands to that. A very nice attempt.
Very, very good.
Rourke putting it up. Jonty climbing the ladder, going huge.
Those that know cricket know of the most famous South African Jonty Rhodes. There looks like Jonty early there trying to sort of channel a bit of that.
Yeah, I'd say that Jonty O'Haley is the new Jonty Rhodes.
Yes, of course.
Oh, Chamonix wanting to throw that, but almost traveling in the process. Chris with the break to Anna, who's...
Ooh, I think she... Looks like she jumped out there. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Needs to drag that foot.
A very good try at dragging the foot, though. It being on the ground the whole time, just landing on the line right at the end. Peter Jessup with the disc again.
On the sideline. He gets a reset at this play. Let's see if he can, if Rourke can keep his head there.
He's the kind of guy that wants to put it deep. Now disc goes to Avalon. Force seems to have changed again. Chris not even close to Tina as she gets up. Avalon gets the disc again. Ooh. Taking a few extra steps there.
But not called. Chamonix is right on.
Disc goes to Bergen. Bergen with the easy clap catch. KK is now open. Connor's dropped off. You can see he's tired. KK now with the disc. He's going to be looking to reset it there. Avalon goes up the line. Nice around throw to Peter Jessup. Pete holding the disc. I see a blade coming in our future. Oh, we want to see it.
Nice inside break. That's good to Avalon.
Avalon throwing it around.
Oh, what a grab.
A grab by Bergen, who just drops to the floor in celebration.
That was beautiful to watch. I hope our cameraman's going to put a replay on there.
And there it is. Avalon with the disc, a little bit stressed, throws it just behind Bergen, but
nice break. Oh, beautiful hands there.
Bergen brings it down. And
but this is what Bergen brings to the team. Like these hands is what it's become a feature of her game. Like you can throw it anywhere near and she'll grab it.
definitely a player that has also worked her way up in the Ultimate Committee. Started at UCT in, I believe, second year with both Liz and Tina, with them living in the same res, which is a residence at a university, and just starting to play Ultimate together.
Yes, actually played 1 year in October, which is one of our other national tournaments in South Africa. Played for Marty's. A few UCT players came and played for Marty's to make up our numbers, and I played with her in that year, and she was a great player to play with. Very solid player. Knew that she was always going to make it big in the UCT setup and South African Ultimate.
I mean, if we're here to brag, I played with her for 4 years, but I mean,
well, whatever.
now Peter Jessup with the disc. His last pull being very effective.
He likes his pull. He pulled pretty well. He likes to pull into the sun, the bit of blade, so it's very difficult to field.
That pull going very high up, but not quite getting distance. Coming backwards even, allowing Vian to get it on the sideline. Vian also, like half of UCT, getting sick. An amazing throw into space.
That was Vian there, Vian selling Tian down the river. Again there on that fake, and then putting a nice look into space.
Mez definitely been working on his lefty backhand.
Very nice.
It's a great little throw. Liz poaching the lane. Really needs to take advantage of that, but rather doesn't look at Eliza. Disc goes back to, and then back again. This team just moving it like crazy, but no one setting a stack, which is putting pressure on UCT. Eliza has the disc.
UCT playing a very short game now, but being quite effective, getting open.
My word, Eliza with a great break over the top.
Lots of cheeky inside breaks. Ghost need to learn to take that away. Oh!
And 2 layouts for a score. Merrick with a great grab this weekend, just being a go-to player. You throw him anything and he will fetch it.
That is going on the highlights reel.
Previously, one of Merrick's highlight was missed, and he was broken-hearted coming back later to watch it, but he will be very happy to get a layout here for a clap catch score, but moving his hands at the end. Ghost going 4 ladies for another point. UCT up 6-2.
Yes, I think Ghost need to look at that high release inside break there on the backhand side. There were a few inside breaks, so they just managed to reset that stall, uncontested as well, the defender or the attacker downfield. So if they can just maybe raise a hand there, keep it a bit, make it a bit more difficult to get that easy inside break, they could really put a bit more pressure on, because it was fairly good person defense there.
Yeah, really didn't let UCT take the open options. I mean, that high release backhand option is not the easiest one to take, but Vian being one that works on that like crazy. And
Eliza with that inside break, that really gave it to Pivy, sort of opened up the field, gave a bit more room on the open side to get that throw off to Merrick.
Now Rourke with the disc, sporting his great red cap. It stays on his head very, very well though.
That's impressive. Yeah, I don't think he's lost it the entire tournament.
I mean, from what I've been watching, I have not seen a single one fall to the ground.
Yes, I think he's sponsored by that cap, and they tailored it specifically to his head.
We are sponsored by many people today. Rourke with the twinkle toes to the line, puts it up big. Not the height that he wanted. If him and Peter Jessup came together, they would make the perfect pull.
But there's intensity there, getting to the marks.
Elf has the disc, directing traffic. Elf's.
Chamonix, nice defense by Chamonix, nice dump defense.
That was a good grab by Asundo, who really had to work hard to get that. Puts it out into space a bit too far. He was off balance with that one. Not quite the right pivot that he wanted.
Again, good defense there on the mark. Just keeping him honest, making him make a bit of an inopportune throw.
Surprising that UCT has gone with a hoe this close to the end zone. I mean, only 10 meters to go. Once again, Chamonix getting the disc. Being a huge player for this team right now. Any downfield options is her. Fian with that throw. He is a dirty man. Christine wanting the disc, makes
nice
a cut up line and right back to the middle.
Drives hard and plants that foot. That is textbook Christine.
Tina really matching her for speed, but just not matching her with the fancy footwork.
And again, Rourke and Christine connecting. They know each other very well, so...
That's a connection I'd like to be part of. Unfortunately, here we stand.
Yes, exactly. If you want to rate that Dylan my connection out of 10, please, rate it in the comments.
Yeah, if you want to... Dylan Travis, you know?
Yeah, Dylan Travis. Do we have one of those cute Brangelina sort of names?
I feel like we should make a hashtag.
Yeah,
like
hashtag.
Hashtag bring Dylan and Travis back.
Yes, exactly.
Fly us to the next worlds, yes.
Yeah. With Diff, if you're reading this, can you also sponsor us?
I mean, they don't read this unless they're subtitles, but generally those are wrong.
Yeah, generally those are wrong. We can have Afrikaans subtitles.
Yo, kom ons Afrikaans praat?
Afrikaans, one of the 11 official languages of South Africa.
When my parents hear that I just spoke Afrikaans on camera, they're going to be very impressed.
If my Afrikaans friends heard me speak Afrikaans on camera, they'd probably tell me to stop because I'm ruining the language.
Now, Connor with the disc. Ghost trying to get some spirit from the sideline just to inspire their players. Connor puts it up. Also still in the sun, as you've said. It's just been such a potent pull. Joe now marking Mark. Violation. Don't quite know why though. Oh, a bit early there from Tian. He got a bit excited. Just goes to Javi. But it's a zone. Everything now makes sense. Nice pass to Bergen, who goes up to
Getting that flow.
Javi, and
right
Alistair just comes from behind. Very, very difficult to see that player that's often behind you.
Very heads up. Alistair has impressed me. Again, another player sort of on the fringes of this first team. Really being a very impressive player, having played against him and seeing him in this game. I predict big things from him in the future.
And again, we have that little inside break with the backhand. It's just been so potent, and Alistair puts it upfield. What a throw into space. They just take the easy reset. UCT really wanting this point. This will give them half. Connor now getting under pressure. Pistol not quite deciding if he wanted to poach that. Not quite a zone, but not quite not. Peter Jessup is poaching. This goes to Eliza. Amazing hands to bring in that catch.
So casual.
And Peter Ivy sells James Ivy back to the sack for the score.
Someone is sleeping on the top bunk today.
What a great first half that we've just had. Definitely both teams pushing exceptionally well. But UCT just making one less mistake than Ghost is right now, which is surprising to see compared to the last match that they played against each other.
So I think UCT are bringing it. They definitely bring it, that intensity, forcing those errors. I mean, that D there by Alistair, just opportunistic, playing heads up, seeing the play unfold, and choosing his opportunity right.
Anyway, halftime, UCT 8-2, and we will see you in 5 minutes.
After all our sponsors.
TV. AAUC.TV.
I probably in the shower yesterday. I didn't know until the water went on it. So I soon found out that I had it. That's a horrible way to find out. I'll be back.
$250 $15. We take PayPal, dollars, shillings, and rands.
And welcome back. Second half's about to begin. We had a nice little break. I got to stand in the sun, warm up a bit, so I'm feeling good.
Welcome back, Travis.
Thanks a lot. So, in your opinion, what do you think? I mean, it's 8-2. Ghost haven't been playing badly. I think UCT have got the better of them. What do you think Ghost can do to improve?
I think this is a really difficult position. Just to quickly switch it up to UCT, being 8-2 up means that if the other team just switches on just a little bit, you're on the back foot. You have been in the driver's seat, and when it changes, it's difficult to bounce back. Ghost, I could hear from the sideline, they're just so excited to get back in this game. They have spoken about what they want to change, and honestly, 8-2 is not a deficit they cannot close.
And UCT, as with sort of most younger university teams, are very much a momentum team. When they put that intensity down, they get that momentum, they are unstoppable. But sometimes if you break the momentum, they start making those mistakes. And, you know, Ghost can get back in the game by doing that.
So, yeah, Pete starts with the big pull, leading them upfield. Mark being the first person there. Just goes to Pavi. Seems that Pavi and, Javi and Peter Jessup have swapped marks. Pavi still selling Peter, though. Yep. Mez going deep. Pavi puts it with amazing sit.
Oh.
Just too far from Merrick. Who knows if that could have been a layout, but it wasn't. This is what I was talking about. This is one of those situations where Ghost really wants this. And UCT cannot drop their intensity. Otherwise, things are not going to go well for them.
Flick force again, which, I think UCT have got away with it, but I feel people like Sid Javi with his epic flick, and now Pistol Pete with his flick, could be a bit difficult to defend.
This goes up line, kept well in. Thule a little bit open. Bergen falls over.
No call on the field. Oh, everyone's playing.
No call, but it seems like Javi made the call for her. Not quite what you want in that situation. Mark, the man that will fake anywhere.
The most embarrassing moments of my life on an ultimate field have been following a Mark fake.
Mark he's so big that his fake will always go over your head. Merrick now with the disc, goes to the side. Donna just can't get there, but enough pressure for Thule to put it down.
That's good again, staying on your check. Even if you're not there, as long as you're putting pressure, making her think. Say there's someone here, I have to make the best catch. If you start thinking, you end up overthinking it and maybe not pulling it down.
Pavi not quite taking that instant throw, which means puts him on a little bit of back foot. He has to put it deep.
Miscommunication. That's very good mark by Pete. That sort of long wingspan of Pete is something that I think really frustrated Pavi there, and something that a good smart change-up. Javi, as much as they're a very competitive outlet, Javi and Pavi, putting Pete on Pavi has really helped him and started to frustrate him a bit.
If I was UCT in this situation, I would probably swap Merrick and Peter so that on the turnover, Pavi can get back into that driver's seat that he's had this whole game over his brother.
I would think that, and also I think it's a bit of a mismatch on defense for Pavi. Pistol Pete, one of the best receivers in the game. Oof, Pete completely open there, but unfortunately not being able to get the throw into a power position.
Avalon with an ass cut. Considers going deep, but Pavi goes to go help.
And
But now with Pete with the disc, he also considers going deep, doesn't quite take it. They've really changed their way that they play. They're simple passes for the score.
what I enjoy about Peter Jessup is he's a fast, athletic, tall player, but he's also a smart player. He'll always exploit a poach, which he did there. Also the chair of SAFTA at the moment, so he puts his work in off the field as well, which is very good to have.
Thule making up for it, getting that grab. It's the wrong force, which leads to the easy open side. Going across the field for the hammer brought down by Mark.
A stall -1 hammer. That's the play that UCT has been teaching all its.
I mean, that's the dream, really.
Yeah. There's no other way to score actually.
Hammer only points are the points that we want as commentators.
Yes, of course. And on that note, I'm going to get a beverage, and we're going to switch over to good old Nick Salumis. We've said some good things about him. Let's see what he has to say.
Welcome to the booth,
Thank
Nick.
you, Travis. Thank you, Dol. Sure, both teams looking a little tired there, but Ghost definitely seemed to have come out on the second half a little bit more fiery.
Ghost really had to do that this half if they wanted to at all stay in this game. Hopefully UCT responds, coming out now for an O point. If they let this break go Ghost's way, who knows what will happen in this game.
Yes. Ghost generally a hungry team. They like to take everything they can get, and they do like to punish you for it. So if you give them anything, they will take it away from you. UCT, though, they're strong line on at the moment. Quite a tall line. So we'll see. I think
We've been seeing this weekend that UCT just in general has a very tall line.
Yeah.
People like Connor, Alistair, Tristan, Rourke. Those are very, very big men. Joe,
Yep.
Merrick. All together leads to a dangerous line with almost always two of them on there.
And not to mention Johnny, who can jump as tall as all of them.
Johnny, I believe, is Jonty.
I said Johnny, I just missed the T.
Now the disc goes up, blades into the sun. Well, misfielded. He touched it, which means it has to go where it
Trying
is.
to recover.
Now the disc goes to Rourke. A little bit of not what you want on the second point of the half. Christine coming back. Not everyone quite in sync with what's going on.
Yep.
Chamonix making a decent cut, but instead the disc goes up the line.
Ooh. Mark doing well there to shut down that danger. Tian working hard.
Disc goes to Chris. Chris being a pivotal part of this offense. Oh, unfortunate not looking there, but Jonty's completely poached, doesn't take advantage of it. This now back to Rourke. This handler weave that we have seen all game has been punishing Ghost.
Definitely. And I think one of the key things is that they just keep moving. It's quite devastating to the defense.
Chris now wanted to get the disc. Chris gets the rage cut. She's considering the break like she always does, and she takes it. Rourke now with the disc. Pick called though. Not quite affecting the Elf Christine matchup. Whether or not that disc will go back to the thrower.
That's Alistair on the line with the yellow?
No. Again, that has been confused a lot. That is actually Tristan.
Tristan, okay. I was wondering why he was looking off Tristan. Maybe Rourke saw the pick coming and decided that it'd be safer just to keep it to Christine.
Seems like Christine stays with that disc. Christine again, one of those people that can break anyone. Double marked.
Dumo comes off. Oh, that's a close one. Dumo breaks off his mark, sees that throw coming. Does a good job to put extra pressure there.
Thing about Ghost, they really do know the UCT players. Dumo doing a great job at knowing that was coming, but UCT cannot let these easy throws go to waste.
Yes, I think specifically some of their strong players are playing a lot of points at the moment, and you don't want to spend too much time on defense. You want to be able to capitalize on your offense.
Jonty now going deep, but not the option to look at. Connor doing a good job.
Oh,
Elf bobbling, but keeping it up. A horrible feeling when you let go of the disc and it does not go to hand. Jonty being sold. Dumo with the disc putting it up. Too far for Tian. He had lots of faith in that man.
yeah. Unfortunately, I think that was a bit of a miscue. Tian came in, Dumo wanted to get into space, and unfortunately that didn't come off.
Mark seemed to have hurt himself during there. Will UCT take advantage of the opportunity to sub? Doesn't look like they will.
Well, that's a bit of an unfortunate blow for Ghost. Mark being quite a pivotal facilitator on their team, able to move the disc wherever he wants it.
It's an interesting choice to not take the sub for UCT, especially being day 4 of the tournament. That's the opportunity to bring someone like Merrick on, bring someone like Peter Avi on, just someone that can put the disc wherever he wants. But now Rourke with the disc, Christine making the back cut, Rourke making that difficult for her, going across to Jonty.
I think they probably want to keep Pistol for when they really need him at the moment. At least that would be my thinking. I mean, not Pistol, Pivy. And I'm pretty sure everybody on the field is planning to run. They all look like they're running hard, so as long as that keeps happening.
Rourke now making a nice cut. Collects that
nice
disc from Anna. Tristan not cutting as hard as they would have wanted. Jonty now again climbing the ladder.
Nice.
Jonty with the little baby reset. Two people coming to the same spot.
Nice, comes down with it. Tristan there to help out just in case.
Chamonix not letting it happen again. She brings this one down for the UCT hold just like they wanted to. If this is a half of trading, unfortunately Ghost will just not be able to take it down. So Ghost really got to take advantage of those silly mistakes.
That's for sure.
When they come.
I think Ghost put a lot of pressure on the O-line there for UCT. Definitely looked like UCT having a bit of struggle there, but towards the end of that point, they definitely got together and managed to pull quite a nice little getaway momentum.
Now UCT putting on their D-line. Once again, like we said earlier, it still has Joe and it still has Merrick, two very, very tall men. At least one of them can take Peter Jessup. Now with Peter Ivy having the disc in hand.
One of the better pullers in the country.
Just one of the better backhands in the country.
Yep, definitely. Very fun player to watch.
You don't often get a flick puller. And just as we say that, he delivers with a huge pull downfield. Katie not quite confident enough to field that. Asunda takes it, goes back to Katie. Joe is now there.
UCT running down hard there to get their people on the marks.
Peter Jessup with a nice cut.
Dangerous position to have Pistol in. Oh, bit of a miscue there.
Joe with a nice D. Yeah. That man having very, very long limbs, especially against Asunda.
Oh, we got the brothers on each other.
It's been a very interesting matchup the whole match. With the cut, Avalon considering going for it, but not quite. Joe completely poached, but not used. Everyone coming to the same spot where Avalon is.
Oh, that's an unfortunate scenario. Avalon did very on that defense.
Avalon did a great job there.
Oh, this could be an interesting shot. Oh, no. Pistol looking off for a swing. Nice.
Merrick really does have to pick up Pistol. There he does. No more easy options for Ghost.
Good gain of almost half the field there.
Joe really has to pick it up now. He wants to get this D back for UCT. Asunda putting it down, but again, Bergen saves the day.
Just putting her body on the line. I mean, you get the disc with two Asunda on the end zone and you just know it's probably going to go. And that was almost a whoopsie, but I think that was fine. Just saying goodbye to Dill for a second. We have Jamla joining us here.
Hi, Nick. How's it going so far?
Oh, it's good. This is quite an exciting matchup. Ghosts seem to be bringing it a bit more in the second half here.
Absolutely. I hope that whatever happened in the halftime talk has inspired them. It definitely looks like it.
Yeah, Ghosts definitely a bit more hungrier. I think few of their key players definitely bringing out a bit more spark. Definitely Avo, huge player to have on the line, huge person to just have to aspire. A lot of great players. So hopefully that's something that we'll be seeing more of. Also Pistol, Jivey pushing hard, and of course Bergen cleaning up the garbage in the end zone there.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw in that last little D that Avo did on the sideline there that the fatigue is definitely not affecting her catching ability. Her reflexes are still really on point at the moment.
Yep. Otherwise, UCT are going to be looking to make sure they get this O, putting a strong line on. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Ghost comes down. I'm assuming it's going to be hard person. It seems to be what the general vibe is at the moment.
And these are both teams that are most often found matched up in finals. So they're used to the pressure. They're used to having these tired legs at the end of a long tournament and pushing to that final score.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if this has been mentioned, but it's quite funny. There's almost a reverse where Ghost has quite a lot of players from the previous UCT team that won the Old Africa Champs in 2017, the last one.
That is true, yeah.
So it's almost an interesting, well, not really a rematch, but it was a Ghost and UCT final then as well. I think Ghost took the half 8-2 or something, and then UCT came back firing. So if there's a team that can do this, it's definitely the players on Ghost can and will probably push all the way till the end.
Already some nice movement in the middle of the field there.
Looking for the dump here, Chamonix. To Vian, always a safe person to get that disc to. Tristan's coming in, huge gain, that's lovely. KK's got to get on that mark. Nice, Tristan, they're moving the disc nicely here right now. Going to UCT strength. Oh, what a pass. Oh, Tristan playing around with the catch. Lovely work, lovely to see. That's unfortunate. KK obviously caught on the back foot there. I'm interested to see what the replay is because I was too busy watching Vian.
Yeah, he saw that throw way, way, way back.
Yeah, that was great anticipation. Broke KK early in, and all that had to happen was that this had to go into space there.
They've had this entire tournament to make sure that they know exactly what the other players are wanting, and that really, really helps, because if your handler knows that the disc is going to go up the line, then you can have that cut come off nice and early.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to take a quick break. We got Travis back.
Sawubona. Sanibona, guys. Sawubona, John.
How's it going, Travis?
So I spoke a language there called Zulu, and John spoke a language there called South African.
Yeah, specifically Durbanese.
Durbanese, yeah. It's part of eastern side of the country, a town called Durban, and we've spoken about it earlier about my love for flip-flops. John also hails from Durban.
Absolutely. You can see us walking around most places in our shorts, even in the deepest of winters.
Yes, stubborn, cold but stubborn.
And most importantly, if you want to speak in a Durban accent, just drop all your R's, replace them with U's. Remember, guys, there's no R in Durban.
Yeah, I like the white Viper stripes on my bike. Those are things that I like to keep going. But yes, let's get it back. It looks like Liz passing out to Mark. Seems to get a lot of flow. The zone seems to be slowing them down, but they look to be navigating pretty well.
They don't look stressed. Avo seeing a nice open throw there.
Very good movement, very fast movement. As long as they don't make mistakes, they've got this. This. This whole day, the Javi vs Pivy battle. Pivy is winning quite convincingly. Unfortunately, I think Javi may be a bit tired.
Massive huck coming in over the left
This is
there.
what we want to see. Oh, but Pete just says, I am very, very tall. I don't care. Oh, foul called. Mark busy showing some sign language there. Pretty sure he did the Macarena in there.
Oh, yeah. Working his hips.
What you've also noticed is Rock has changed this cap style from forward facing to backward facing. Pretty impressive new look for him.
And as we all know, that signals his switch to his secondary fuel tanks.
Bit of clogging there, but we got it. Nice reset. There we go. That's the patience you need.
Great experience and calmness from Mark there.
Mark, he's one of the stalwarts of South African Ultimate. Been playing for so long at such a high level. He accompanied the Donkeys to World Club Championships last year. I played in the team and was a very good team to play with and very good player to play with. Also shared a room with him. I mean, not a bed, just a room.
Just a room.
We weren't that close.
Mark is the kind of player that if he's marking you, he'll actually say to you, oh, by the way, if you pivot out a bit more like this, you'll probably break me quite easily. He's that kind of ultimate player.
Yes, he's great. One of the most spirited players that you'll see in South African Ultimate. Married to, has a partnership with Marlies, his wife, again. We've spoken about in earlier games. Also very, very focused on spirit, which is it's just good to see in South African Ultimate. Bit of a tired throw there, not really sort of setting himself. putting the float in it.
Yeah, always difficult to catch those discs where you see the top of the disc coming at you.
Yeah.
Foul called.
Foul called. And then I don't know if that was an uncontested call or that was just someone talking about how big their hot dog was this morning.
Yeah, I think that was sign language for clouds.
Clouds, okay, good point. There's about 1.5 clouds out today.
Beautiful huck.
Unfortunately, no one was going for it.
But it gives them a bit of time to now kind of compose themselves, grab a breath.
Yes, I think Pete Jessup might be a bit tired with all the play over this weekend, but I feel they haven't used him as a deep threat enough. He's a potent deep threat. He'll win most matchups, and he's smart enough to get those open spaces. But they're not looking for that connection, which is just interesting. He's not used to playing for this team. He's picked up just for this tournament, so maybe that's why.
Could be just trying to, as much as possible, be conservative, holding on to that disc, just really, really holding on to that position.
Ah, good point.
UCT doing great work working it up the field here.
Ghost looking a bit tired on defense, lagging behind, but that's what happens when you play against a group of freaking 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah, the youths.
The youths, I remember those days. My body didn't hurt after every single point. Just a bit too casual. Good look, it looks like. Just might need to just rein that back, get a bit more float onto those passes.
You can tell that they're getting tired. They're kind of starting to do those like T-Rex arms,
yes.
You know, where you're kind of like coming out of your chest there. That's normally a sign that you're really, really running on fumes.
Yes, or that you're an extinct dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oof. But, oh, what a grab. Rains it down, drags that feet.
Lots of different discussion of whether that was in or not.
From our perspective, looked pretty good. She seemed to drag the feet. I'm sure we'll have some sort of recap, and you guys at home can take the YouTube video back.
Yeah, please leave a comment on this video if you feel like it was in or out.
Yeah. Coming back. But Avalon, again, as we've mentioned many times before, just always puts the body on the line, and that's what you need in a play. And when you see someone playing like that, especially when you're down, you want to play for them.
Ooh, it's still up.
Oh!
Never give up on those discs.
Yeah, always catch your Ds.
He's got two options downfield there. Looking to split the defender.
Oh, has to choose between Bergen and his wife, and of course he doesn't want any domestic dispute tonight, so he chooses his wife.
He's a smart man, that Peter.
Very smart man, yes. I said sometimes Ultimate's not all about being athletic. Go gets a kiss as well. He was waiting for that. That's why he chose it.
I hope that he's consistent, giving out kisses to all the players that are scoring points.
Yeah, that's true. I saw him giving a Sunder kiss. It was pretty messy.
Oh yeah.
With a lot of tongue.
That's good. That's good. That's the kind of like team connection you need.
Yes, exactly.
Travis enjoying a nice little sip of his beer there. It's pretty much his brain fuel for tournaments like this.
Sometimes some people take ibuprofen. I take beer.
Absolutely. It's all those good carbs, you know.
Yeah, of course, there's lots of energy in there.
Yeah.
So, John, how's your tournament been? Have you had an enjoyable tournament? You play for Catch 22?
Yeah. It was a team that I've played for before and kind of picked up with them. All those old love connections were still there, and we've had a really, really fantastic tournament. We've had some high-intensity games. One of our favorite games was definitely playing against the Kenyan team. They just showed such insane athleticism over the course of this tournament, right up until the end. I think everyone that played with them kind of came out saying that they have these amazing hucks, amazing deep looks. So it was really, really great to play with them because you get, it's great playing with teams that you know, but it's the reason you come to tournaments like this is to play against people that you've never met before with different styles. It's absolutely amazing.
No, that's very good. I mean, that was a very exciting game. I think the only disappointment from that game was that it wasn't on the main field. I was actually playing on the main field in that game, and we got absolutely destroyed by Ghost.
Use your words.
Yes, I try sometimes. I can use most of them. But yeah, we got absolutely destroyed by Ghost. Pretty average game to be televised. So if we had got that universe point game on the main field, would have been great. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. I think It's bad planning by our cameraman. Didn't set the schedule properly.
Shocking.
Pretty disappointing. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. But we still love him. We'll give him a nice big hug after this game as well. You can see him kind of like smiling there. He's looking forward to it.
Pete Jessup was also under one of the impression he might give him a little sloppy kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could see him kind of like zooming in on that kiss as it happened.
So, timeout's over. Time to get this show on the road.
Thank you, John. Nick is back. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Travis, what do you think the timeout was for? Or have you already talked about that?
Oh, we have not talked about that. I actually didn't know the timeout was happening. John and I were enjoying some banter.
Oh, nice.
Talking about Pete Jessup kissing his wife.
Well, that was a great previous point there. Tina picking up Pistol's inability to catch that disc. Yeah,
exactly.
Good teamwork.
Yeah, so there was a good save, actually.
It was an amazing save, yeah.
I know, and as I said, Peter Ivey, catch a D's, a bit difficult to get to, but, you know, unfortunately gave Tina a chance and she picked it up.
But it just shows the importance of backing up. I think a lot of the time other players might give up in those kind of situations. And, I mean, Tina was obviously ready, able to pick that up. And I mean, it was UC was unable to recover. Anyway, back to this point now.
Yeah, but especially I think when you're tired and you don't want to back up, you want to just sit there and catch your breath.
Watch.
Yes.
Anyway, Vian with the disc to Christine, nice center there.
These guys look like they're ready to play. Looks like
definitely bringing out the fire. The defense is doing pretty well, although they're giving Christine a lot. I don't know. I mean, Avo's looking to do some hard pushing. She's bringing out some fire, but that does mean that Christine gets the disc in a power position quite often.
That is true.
Oh, unfortunate there.
And I think this is what's happening now. A good point by Ghost. UCT again, momentum team. You've played in UCT. You played on there for about 400 years. So you obviously know that, you know, they play really well when they have the momentum. But if the momentum's taken away from them, they sometimes force throws. That was a fairly easy look. Probably could have had a bit more float on it, but let's see if Ghost can capitalize.
It's just about taking that little bit of extra breath before you do a throw. Anyway, Christine Avo, nice matchup to see. You're gonna enjoy watching that all game. Oh, Pivy is very open. Not sure what happened there.
Nice over the top look.
Sander with the disc. Pistol with the disc. Good position to have him in the scenario.
Oh. Guys looking very composed. That's a beautiful look. KK.
Oh, that could be a bit out. Was that a catch?
Is he calling it in or is he calling it out?
It looks like UCT calling the score on the sideline, and it is a score. Unbelievable dragging line there by KK.
Brilliant layout. That was impressive. And KK, known as South Africa's best dancer, he's been given a bit of a run for his money by the rest of the African teams, which is pretty good to see, especially at the party a couple of days ago. But
great attempt there.
Yeah.
KK going low early to make sure that his tired legs don't let him down.
Yes, of course. Another Ghost player that played for UCT, then moved to Ghost. They won nationals in 2012. His first year joining.
2013. Well, actually, Ghost did win in 2012, but KK was with them in the 2013 win.
Did they win 2 years in a row?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the win that got them to Lecco.
Oh, to Lecco. Okay. No, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, on that team at that stage was Ryan Purcell. I think at the moment he's playing for Austin Seoul for the AADL. He played for Double Wide. I don't know if he's still playing for Double Wide.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with him.
Yeah, he's a very good player, of course. Really changed the game in South African Ultimate. I think bringing that intensity of the US game to South Africa, sort of picking us up from a very casual type of sport or country to a more sort of organized, competitive style.
Yeah, he definitely helped a lot. I think key things were in the way he coached, his coaching style and stuff like that. I mean, I think there's a lot of South Africans that have brought a lot to this game, but he definitely helped raise that level at least from the competitive point of view.
I think South Africans have taken up the mantle now. There have been a lot of South Africans, coaches of various national teams that have then carried that on. So it's
big put by Pistol. Merrick is in the position. Oh, he gets it. Great avoidance by Mark.
Yes. Very good decision to pull out there. I think Mark had a bid, but chose not to bid because of the getting himself in danger.
And a bit unlucky there from Ghost. I thought... but I mean, once Pivy gets into that power position, I mean, if you've got a long option, he is going to put it.
I think so, and I mean, yes, they work for those power positions, and I think Ghost, I know they're tired, but they have to work harder just to contain that. At least contain for 1 or 2 sort of stalls, maybe, give up a break throw just to contain that first look, because, as I say, with an athletic team like UCT, you don't want to give them discs going long, especially with Merrick chasing it down, because he'll grab those all day.
Definitely. Yep, Ghost putting on a strong line here. I like to see it.
And yes, I mean, we've got Mark there, Keiko we've spoken about. Asanda Jonga, she hails from the Wild Coast. Wild Coast, a rural area in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. But I don't know how, but she's just brought like a different element to her game. She is so, so good. MVP of the game we played against her. Just brilliant. We've got Tion there.
She's doing a great job of trying to get the game going at Fort Hare University.
Yes.
Hopefully that works out. I've seen her at most tournaments in the last few years, so hopefully that keeps happening.
No, of course. Eastern Cape, very good region, very, very sort of energetic region, and a very good way to develop ultimate in South Africa.
Yep. Of course, we've got smaller Sunday here. Yes. He's been playing for a long time, probably one of the most experienced players on the field at the moment, or at this tournament. Went to Junior Worlds many years ago when it was still called Junior Worlds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive, and I think I mentioned earlier, but he played for Kyoba back in the day.
Kyoba, and before that they were called Kaya. So Kyoba was a team when 2 teams joined together to form a powerhouse, but Kaya before then was already quite strong. They come from Khayelitsha, and it was very sad when they disbanded a couple of years ago, but he's joined Ghost here, and I mean, he's just added a lot to their game. Anyway, they seem to have turned it. UCT is going to look to break Ghost here. Probably want to take this point just to secure their position.
I think this point is great
huge take by Connor. I'm not sure if that is up. We will see in the replay. Obviously not our call. Oh no, that is down and it jumps up. They seem to realize that. That's good.
It's good spirit by Connor. I think Connor's really brought a lot of spirit to this tournament. Nice to be, obviously you want the disc to be up, but it is what it is, and you trust your teammates to tell you in the opposition. Good work.
Yeah. Checking if the disc's okay. Don't know if that's a throw or whether they want a new disc. Checking it, seems okay.
Apparently Mark doesn't trust himself enough to check it himself, decided to give it to the sideline.
I think he's just going to go with the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Wants a new disc. So it looks like Ghost setting up in a vert stack, classic end zone vert stack. Got a Sundance as the reset. He's going to do one of his electric moves. I mean, again, going back to the dancing thing, this guy can dance, and he dances in the positive way when he's a reset handler.
Interesting to see what Ghost is doing. Classic up the line there by Sana. KK gets the disc.
Looks like there's a pick called.
Pick called.
KK showing off his muscles again.
Sun's out, guns out.
I think there was a bit of congestion there. KK had a few steps ahead of his man, but difficult to say at this sort of moment if Connor had to play on the disc.
I think it's just going to stay with it. It seems that it didn't affect play.
Tion, nice cut there by
KK being patient, does a big fake, Connor bites on it.
Very good patience.
Mark looking to put it, can put it anyway, does. Avo with the disc on the sideline. Christine tight Mark. Joe is trying hard to stop the long arms of Mark, but it's really difficult. Unfortunately, Christine is unable to contain that in the end. Asanda getting a great catch.
Yes, and again, that just shows Asanda's skill. And to think that she's sort of driven it all herself by her own play. I think watching a lot of Ultimate, just playing. She's leading a team in the Wild Coast there. Absolutely electric team. I've seen videos of them play recently. They're starting to really do very well. I think they won Eastern Cape Regionals this year.
Regionals, yes.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they were unable to attend Nationals just because of funds.
Yes, it's lots of financial constraints, which sort of limits them attending all the tournaments they can.
Yeah.
But there are plans in place to sponsor players, and all of you rich Europeans and Americans, you can always give money.
Yeah, please get in contact with SAFTA.
Yeah. Or just give money to me, and I promise that I'll give it to them. The bidding starts at about $1 million.
Yeah, at least 50% will make it to them.
Yeah.
The rest will be developing sports fields around the country just for Ultimate.
And sports cars.
Sports cars. I think we might have to get a second signatory on that.
Yeah, I think so. This is why I'm not the treasurer. A 12-6, eh?
12-6, yeah.
Ghost seems to be getting back into this game again. The momentum seems to be shifting.
Trading points, actually.
Yes, trading. So I think.
However, Ghost is going to want to have to break a few times to catch up. So, I mean, they're putting on some of their best players. So, actually, can you call anyone on Ghost not their best players?
The thing. Every time I look at that line, I'm like, they've got their best line on, but it's different each time. But yes, I think Merrick getting that point for UCT, really keeping them from sort of keeping Ghost from bringing it back. So good play by UCT. They just have to hold on and they can ride this game out. But let's see how Ghost work.
Here we go. We got Pistol on Pivy. Oh, maybe not a miscue. Maybe Pivy knew that was going to fall. Unfortunately, Merrick giving it away. Gets back on the D though. Doesn't want to let Jivey get anything out of his mistake there. Pivy trying hard to keep Pistol under control.
Jivey looking to the break side immediately for some strange reason.
Oof.
I feel like
he's got Pistol long. They usually like to connect. He's thinking about it. No, Pistol's coming in. Still going to connect though. Pivy trying hard to get to keep up with him. Good reset there. This is the break. This is the break that Ghost wanted and needed. Stay in the game.
Again, low stalker on Hammer. I'm glad that they are working on the fundamentals of Ultimate.
Yeah. Something that you didn't do in the game I commentated for previously with the All Africa game.
A bit disappointed in that, but you can't be at your best all the time. However, in a second game, I did receive a Hammer, also low stalker on, so I was very happy with that.
Okay, cool, great. Oh well, yeah, I actually one of my games I did a stall 9 Hammer into the end zone, assuming no one was going to get it. I think it was against Easy As, and Nicky, my player, my teammate, came down with an amazing layout grab. It was super satisfying.
Of course.
It's one of those throws that when it comes off, it's just so great.
And Nikki's one of those players that you just put it up there, and she's generally got a step on her mark. So you just want to get her to into some sort of space to make a play on the disc, and she'll get there.
Also, heads up, obviously. I mean, if you throw a hammer into space and one of your players gets it, that's great.
Yes, of course. I mean, no, very good. I think she comes from a hockey background, played a lot of hockey, got that competitive streak from hockey, putting her body on the line.
Yeah.
Again, very, 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 very good player.
I think a lot of players this weekend have been putting their body on the line. You can see it all over the fields. Huge bids, players from all over the place, and I'm very impressed that that even with tied legs, we're still seeing great Ultimate.
Yes, people are. Yeah, I mean, in South Africa, a graze, sort of a skin graze, is called a roasty. We call it a roasty, and I normally sort of my pride. I don't win the trophy, but I normally win the roasty competition.
Nice. Do you roasty your roasties? I find I tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You just dig away the skin layers.
Yes, I think normally after a tournament I have to take a month off for everything to heal, or else it stays with me for
Get
about.
that mercurochrome.
Yes, exactly. It's very difficult. This one I've got on my leg here is going to last. Probably going to last a few months. So let's hope we can heal him up.
Cool. 12-7. Ghost going to look for their next break. Put some of their tall line on. Got Mark and Jessup. Got a lot of speed.
I think, as I said, the momentum's slightly shifting. I mean, Ghost getting the upper hand in the second half a bit. UCT, again, just those throws just slightly off. But, they can always bring it back.
I think we're going to, Travis is going to say a quick goodbye, and we're going to have Jambler back on. Thank you, Travis. Cool, big put down, although UCT have already moved it up the field. You got Rourke, you got Christine up the line. Oh, Tristan running hard in there, lovely work. Let's see if UCT can put this one in, because I think they're going to need to make sure Ghost doesn't sort of start biting on their heels. What do you think, John?
Well, I kind of want to see a bit more biting on the heels at this point.
Very casual catch there by Christine as she shows her guns. Sorry, yes, as you were saying, John.
No, I think all of us really want to see a nice competitive finals, and the fact that Ghost is not giving up and they are kind of turning it back on, that's exactly what you want to see. Now it's just a case of, are UCT going to also keep the foot on the gas pedal? Yeah.
As Trav was saying, UCT is a momentum team, and they like to keep playing well and getting those. Once they've smelt blood, they keep going. However, there's players on the Ghost team that had that same mentality, half of them being from UCT themselves. It's one of those things that I think comes from playing from this university here.
Yeah, you yourself are ex-UCT player. A lot of the Ghost players are ex-UCT players.
Yep.
This is almost a kind of UCT 1.0 versus 2.0
yeah, definitely.
matchup.
Yeah, Ghost picking up quite a few players from big teams in Johannesburg, and we were talking about a Sunder from the Wild Coast earlier. Christine with the disc.
Great choice.
Great pass. Oh, into the space. Oh, I think he just jumped before that catch. Unfortunate turnover there. This is the kind of thing that I think Ghosts are going to take advantage of. They've got good defense on the line. However, see, turning the defense in half. Oh, Rourke. Oh, huge double D there. Very, very, almost several collisions. I think the two teammates there are lucky that nothing serious happened.
Yeah, that was some good awareness of bodies, but that very much easily could have been an injury.
Well, that's the thing about Connor. He's not going to let anything go. Rourke with a beautiful catch. Don't think it's in. It's on the end zone. Christine setting up going to reset that. Lovely. Got Connor. Oh, he seems to be untouched. Possibly a miscue, it looks like there. Pistol looks unhappy. Good job, UCT.
Yeah, UCT taking advantage of that little bit of hesitation that happened. There was, I think someone tripped in the stack and there was a bit of hesitation.
I guess we can watch the replay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think Pistol possibly just took his eyes off for a second because he was distracted by a teammate there. Connor taking full advantage. Oh, what? This is apparently game. Well, that's, I guess, an exciting finish. UCT finally doing what they do best, getting that disc in the end zone. I think that was a pretty great game to watch. I'm sure Ghost will be disappointed that they let UCT get away a bit too far in the first half there, but in the end, UCT definitely had the better day. And the ironic thing is, this is pretty much a repeat of last Africa Champs 2017, where like this time, Ghost dominated UCT in the round robin, and then came out firing in the final to beat Ghost. So, well, UCT came out firing this time in the final to beat Ghost. So one of those things.
Yeah, UCT once again showing that historically they've made it to the finals in almost every single tournament they've played in. Really one of the top teams, and it really comes down to that consistency that at every level of the tournament they're always coming out firing, whether it's the first game of the day or the last game of the tournament. They are there and they are turned on, and that really showed today. That's what allowed them to really cinch this victory.
Anyway, thank you, John. We will probably take this to adverts now. It's been great commentating with you. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Dill, for your stuff earlier. I hope everybody enjoyed the game.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Alti.tv